cheating with a teammate's wife. Man, y'all really breaking the bro code. A lot of y'all with these. I'm not even gonna lie. Well, I guess technically, is it? Well, I was on this app. Shout out the locker room the other day. They was talking about something similar to this, and they was basically asking, is it really the bro code? Because everybody that's teammates isn't really close. Like, if you look at it, they're more like a lot of these NBA players that are teammates. Some of them are more like co-workers than they are teammates, because you hear all the time about teammates who don't like each other or whatever. But anyway, let's get in the video. Please be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and share in the video. The link to the original video will be in the description.
When you look at sports like the NBA, you prefer to think about the athletes and the skills that they have on the basketball court. You prefer to just watch the games and cheer for your favorite teams and not necessarily subscribe to all the not so nice things that can happen on a court. Sadly, the NBA players are human, and that means they can make mistakes, even when that mistake is cheating with another player's spouse. It's not cool. And it's not fun to talk about, but here are 7 NBA athletes caught cheating with a teammate's wife. Be sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel.
We've seen some of these.
Andrew Bynum. Given who Bynum was on the court, this honestly shouldn't be too much of a shock that this allegation still...
With a coach's wife? Andrew, come on, bruh. Andrew... Well, I hope it ain't no Lakers coach. I hope
hovers around him. The talented big man was an all-star and 2-time NBA champion on Kobe Bryant's Lakers teams, but his career remains widely considered a disappointment in light of weight issues, knee issues, and dedication questions that left him out of the league before his 27th birthday. Whether laughing upon getting benched for attempting a three-pointer, smiling in the immediate aftermath of a tight playoff loss, or rehabbing his knee at the Playboy Mansion, Bynum's maturity and attitude were regularly...
Yeah, I never really... Bynum was a good player. Like, prime, people forget how dominant prime Andrew Bynum was. People were smoking by, like, especially Shaq, by pushing this narrative that Andrew Bynum was better than Dwight Howard. But Andrew Bynum was a top 3 big man in the top 3 big man in the league at his peak. It's just he didn't have the work ethic to take it serious enough to advance to that next level. I think people say the same thing about Dwight Howard though. Was that Dwight Howard was a dominant player, but when you got legends like Hakeem and Kareem wanting to work with you, develop your post skills, and they even called them lazy. So yeah, a lot of these bigs of this
called
time
into question, including an allegation that he slept with his coach's wife. Not cool. The incident, which involved then Cavaliers assistant coach Jamal Mosley, is believed to have...
yeah, he did play for the Cavs. I forgot. Wait, did he even play? I don't remember him actually playing, but I know he
expired while both player and coach were in Cleveland, which then resulted in an immediate suspension for conduct detrimental to the team. Not long after that, he was out of the league for good, and that's not surprising. His career overall has been tarnished despite being a 2-time title holder.
But I didn't know Bynum slept with his coach wife. That's crazy. Like, and who came? This is another question I got. Who came up with the term "slept with"? Like that.
Off the court stuff becomes bigger than your on the court stuff. Yeah, that gets noticed.
I couldn't.
6. Jeff McInnis.
Never heard of this dude.
If you don't remember Jeff McInnis, he was a solid player from the University of North Carolina. Won Player of the Year there, and then went on to be NBA Rookie of the Year. So, what did he do? At just 21 years of age, McInnis reportedly carried out an affair with the wife of Coach Phil Ford, who was 18 years his senior. Despite denials on the part of the young point guard.
I mean, of course he's not going to admit that, yeah, my coach's wife cheated on him with me. Like, I mean, unless he personally got caught, there's no way.
Rumors continue to linger. McInnis would later acknowledge that he may have gotten caught up in a big hug from Ford's wife, but that was it. Interestingly, both McInnis and Ford ultimately made their way to the NBA in the years following the rumored incident. So what was this, or what wasn't it? We likely will never know, and that's probably for the best, but something definitely happened and no one really wants to confirm anything, which in this case is probably for the best. 5. Karl Malone.
Karl Malone?
By the standards of this list, things mercifully didn't get very far between Karl Malone and
People, we hate Karl Malone already. Like what? So what teammate? Don't tell me it's John Stockton.
Vanessa Bryant during the mailman's lone season with the Los Angeles Lakers and didn't get very far between Karl Malone and Vanessa Bryant during the mailman's lone season with the Los Angeles Lakers in 2003 to 2004. In fact, there is little evidence to suggest that things between Malone and the wife of Kobe Bryant extended beyond some flirty banter. But when you've got one all-time NBA great eyeing the wife of another, it'll certainly get basketball people talking, which of course it did in spades.
I'm not gonna even. I'm hunting for young Mexican girls. How Karl Malone ruined his friendship with Kobe Bryant by hitting on his wife. Yeah, I could believe Karl Malone would try it, and you know Kobe being the alpha as he is, he wasn't going for none of that.
AIDS. So the story goes, Vanessa happened upon Malone clad in a cowboy getup one day and said, "Hey cowboy, what are you hunting?" Malone was supposedly quick to respond, "I'm hunting little Mexican girls." To be fair, Malone's comments hardly seem to be overtly sexual, even though it's weird. Vanessa isn't entirely innocent in the interaction, but the veteran power forward should have known better than to mess with the wife of his team's central star. Kobe, for his part, wasn't shy about openly expressing his displeasure over the comments made from a teammate who had also been a close friend. The Lakers didn't suffer much from the rift, still reaching the NBA Finals, but the relationship between the two men was never the same.
Yeah.
And that's why you have to be 100% on your game in terms of what you say, else cause problems. There were 1,000 different things that Malone could have said, but he made that crack and as a result, problems happened. 4. Shaq.
Cool. Shaq. Man said, "I'm hunting little Mexican girls." Like, Malone, bro. Karl Malone, bro. We already know your sick history. Yeah.
When you picture Shaq in your mind, you no doubt picture the NBA All-Star who has a great personality and flair for the theatrical. But you also likely know that he's a flirt, and that got him in trouble one time in a big way. Details remain murky over just what went down between Gilbert Arenas, Shaquille O'Neal, and Arenas' fiancée, Lauren Govan, back some...
Gilbert Arenas? Why you ain't... Hey, Gilbert, why you didn't have the same energy with Javaris Crenton that you had with Gilbert? I mean, with Shaq. Why you ain't bought that same
around
energy
2010,
with Shaq?
But social media posts by Arenas at the time certainly point to some bedroom antics taking place, if you get our drift. If anything did happen between Govan and O'Neal, it isn't as though the big Aristotle would have been interfering in a blissful union. Arenas and Govan underwent a tumultuous partnership plagued by subpoenas and disputes over child support and payments.
Dang.
But you still don't mess with a fellow NBAer's girl.
They weren't never teammates, so I mean, hey, and we don't know if they close, but still the fact that Gilbert, you should have. Nah, in GTA, of course, in GTA.
Code here, and it may have been broken. The messy allegations once again came to light recently as Arenas engaged in a custody battle with his now ex-wife. An explicit and outspoken Instagram post from Agent Zero used the hashtag #ItchyO'Neal, implying not only that Shaq slept with Govan, but that he also gave her an STD. Arenas certainly has reason to be suspicious of the affair, given that a text exchange allegedly between the two that had come to light. You can choose whatever side of this you want, but it's clear that something ain't great. 3. Shannon Brown.
Shannon Brown?
The 2011 Western Conference semifinals saw the Dallas Mavericks steamroll the Los Angeles Lakers in a series sweep so one-sided that it prompted questions about what had gone wrong with the defending NBA champions. Particularly underwhelming for the listless Lakers was Pau Gasol, who averaged just 13.1 points per game in the series and looked so uninterested that coach Phil Jackson felt compelled to yell at the Spaniard on the sideline. Gasol's disappointing performance, coupled with the team's general lack...
Okay, let me put an end to this right now before it goes any further. I did not sleep with Pau Gasol's woman. First and last time addressing it.
The cohesion sparked speculation over whether teammate Shannon Brown had shacked up with Gasol's fiancée, Sylvia
Where did
Lopez
the rumor
Castro.
start from?
Brown, who was married to R&B singer Monica, was said to have slept with Castro midway through the season, with Gasol learning of the affair right before the postseason began. Apparently, Castro had gotten into something of a catfight with none other than Vanessa Bryant, suggesting that Kobe's wife had slept around, an allegation that prompted Vanessa to turn the tide and out Castro's cheating ways. This was said to have led to a full-blown locker room brawl between Gasol and Brown, not to mention fracturing the engagement of Gasol and Castro and sending team morale into a downward spiral, which played out badly, as we noted.
That's
There's
probably why
nothing
we got
worse in an
swept.
NBA locker room than a lack of cohesion in the playoffs, and sleeping with another man's fiancée, yeah, that'll get the cohesion to disappear. But we're still not done with the Lakers and their crimes, believe it or not.
Huh?
2. Derek Fisher.
Oh,
There was a break in the monotony of the usually drab NBA.
Now this one, I'm pretty sure Matt Barnes and Derek Fisher at one point was close. So this one is definitely a bro code one. Not gonna lie, this one may be a bro code one. Not this more not. They won a championship ring together. So it's not like, oh, we just y'all was champions together.
Training camp media coverage back in 2015 when reports emerged
I remember
about an
hearing about
enraged Matt Barnes driving 95 miles from Memphis Grizzlies camp to, according to sources, beat the S out of Derek Fisher at Barnes' own house. The beef between the two NBA vets has been long-standing and has been forged on and off the court. Off the court, the feud is a deeply personal one, centering on reality TV star Gloria Govan, the girlfriend of Fisher and the ex-wife of Barnes. It was the relationship between Fisher and Govan that sparked Barnes' rage-filled cross-state trek in October 2015 as the hard-nosed forward.
That ain't safe. He drove that just to go beat Derek Fisher, man. Like, that's not safe.
Reportedly grew livid when his twin 6-year-old sons told him that Fisher was at the house. In an incident that was investigated by the NBA, Barnes and Fisher apparently exchanged punches at the house in a fight that was significant enough to attract the attention of local police. Fast forward 2 years, Fisher and Govan remain together, and Barnes still doesn't seem terribly fond of his one-time Los Angeles Lakers teammate. Not hard to see why.
We wouldn't be cool after that either.
1. Paul George. There's a bit of a mystery regarding NBA player Roy Hibbert. He seemed destined for greatness and then fell off the map, as it were. But there may be one reason it happened like it did. His teammate...
And this is why we don't like Way Off P. I thought he was going to talk about... But I thought Paul George and Doc Rivers' daughter had like a full-blown relationship, so that's different. But yeah, Roy hit... Dang.
Got personal with his wife. It was back in Indiana, where Hibbert enjoyed his best years, that suspicion began to percolate regarding the relationship his wife, Valerie Cook, had with the team's star, Paul George.
Dang.
Now, PG-13 isn't
Roy
entirely
Hibbert was
new to sex
actually
scandals,
nice,
having reportedly impregnated a Miami stripper while dating the daughter of Los Angeles Clippers coach Doc Rivers and getting caught up in a catfishing scandal. Though neither Hibbert nor George have paid lip service to it, the rumored affair is said to have even set off a fight between fellow Pacers Lance Stephenson and Evan Turner. Turner apparently took exception to Stephenson speaking openly about the situation at practice, prompting fists to fly. George is still in the NBA and getting paid big for the Clippers, making this story more of a tragedy than anything else. So, what do you think?
More of a tragedy?
For the Clippers, making this story more of a George is still in the NBA and getting paid big for the Clippers, making this story more of a tragedy than anything else.
Hey,
so, what do you think?
Ain't been the same
what do you think of
since
this deep dive into the personal lives of certain
Indiana, and he came to the Lakers and was. I said Roy Hibbert was overrated from the jump, but people weren't listening to me. I was a little kid. What did I do?
NBA stars who have gone and done some terrible things
this
off
Kobe
the court,
one definitely surprised
or alleged to have
me.
done such things. Which of these players do you feel less positive toward now that you know this?
I feel less positive towards Karl Malone, and I was never positive to. Well, can't say never, because before I heard about this stuff with the alleged stuff with Karl Malone, I didn't know much about him. I just knew he was an all-time great power forward. But Karl Malone, his morale for me is even lowered. Shannon Brown was a great player. But you the reason we got swept by the Mavericks. We could have three-peated, man. But the rest, it is what it is, I guess. But anyway, please be sure to like, comment, subscribe. Go subscribe to The Sportist. Original link will be in the description. And I'm out. Peace.